Hello, and welcome to Cooking Lessons for Dad. My name is Karen Breyer, and today we are going to make a delicious recipe of Indian spiced lentils. It is so good, you're going to love it. So the ingredients in this recipe are olive oil, thinly sliced onions, fresh ginger, or if you don't have any, you could use dried, minced garlic, vegetable seasoning and broth, canned diced tomatoes, water, red lentils, the dried version, garam masala, ground cumin, and salt. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is we're going to heat the oil in a medium to large saucepan over medium heat. Let me turn the burner on first and we'll get it hot, then I'll add the oil. Okay, so when it feels hot in a minute, we'll add the oil. Okay, so 2 to 3 teaspoons, I'll just add 2. We're going to heat it up and then we're going to add the onions. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add 1.5 to 2 cups thinly sliced onions, and I cut them like pretty thin. I cut the onion in half and then so I could set it flat when I cut it, and made some thin slices that way. So we'll add those. So we might need to turn the heat down. We're going to go ahead and saute these for 5 minutes until the onions are soft. Okay, the onions are soft, you can see. We're going to go ahead and add the ginger and the minced garlic. So this is fresh ginger. I peeled it and grated it with a grater, and this is what it looks like raw, or it's usually in bigger pieces. So I have a heaping tablespoon, which is about 4 teaspoons, and then we're going to go ahead and add 3 to 4 teaspoons of minced garlic as well. So I'll just do 3 heaping. And we're going to saute this for about a minute. Now what we need to do is we're going to take half of these onion mixture out and set it aside for later. We'll keep that, and then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add the vegetable seasoning, 3 teaspoons. And then we're going to add 3 cups of water. In place of this, in place of the seasoning in the water, you could use 3 cups of liquid vegetable seasoning. We'll just stir that around. And we're going to have 1 15.5 ounce can of diced tomatoes with the juice. Next, we're going to have 1 cup of dried red lentils. And when you use dried beans or lentils, you want to check them first, look at them, make sure there's no debris or rocks in them, because sometimes there is, and then you should rinse them. So we have 1 cup dried red lentils, I already checked them, and 4 teaspoons of garam masala. This is an amazing Indian spice blend. It smells so good, it makes anything taste good. So, I guess the teaspoon doesn't fit in there, so 4 teaspoons. Hopefully we won't overflow it, but it would still taste good. Oh, 2. 3. I don't know why they don't make the jars big enough for a teaspoon. Okay, and I'll do this one a little short since the other ones were full. So 4. And then 2 teaspoons of ground cumin. 1, 2. So we're going to go ahead and stir this around. We're going to turn up the heat. We're going to bring this to a boil, and then we're going to put the lid on and reduce it to a simmer. We're going to simmer it for about 15 minutes until all the liquid is absorbed and the lentils are cooked. Okay, so we'll watch for a boil, and then we'll reduce it to a simmer, put the lid on, and then it will be almost done. Okay, so our lentils are boiling, I'm going to reduce the heat to a simmer that's just like a small boil, teeny bubbles. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put the lid on for about 15 minutes until all the liquid is absorbed and the lentils are tender. Okay, so keep an eye on it. I'll probably peek maybe about 10, make sure it's not boiling too much or too little. Okay, we'll see you in 15 minutes. Okay, the liquid is pretty absorbed in our Indian spiced lentils, and we just need to add some salt. 1/4 teaspoon, 1/2 teaspoon, or to how you like it. I'm going to do a heaping quarter. And stir it up. Try it. Good, let me check the salt. And you can also go light on the salt, and then people could add extra salt to their own taste. This is so good. So, the Indian spiced lentils, you most commonly serve it over rice, but you could also serve it over quinoa or couscous, and I just happen to have some couscous. And don't forget, we have the extra onions we're going to add on top. If you were going to serve a lot of people, you could put the lentils in a dish and then serve these over the top. I just have myself, so I'll just put a little on. Okay. And then we've got the onions over the top. And it's ready to try. I already got a preview, so I know it's good. It's pretty hot right now. Okay, here we go. Wow. This taste combination is amazing. You're gonna love the garam masala, which is already a mix of different spices, and then the other ingredients as well. You're gonna love it. Let me know how it turns out. Try it this week. Okay, bye.